to do it again because I think you're a little warm. What's up, everybody? I got a little partner here today. That's why I'm on a little late. So just kind of being mindful of what's going on of the day so far. We kind of peaked up above here, and now we're just sitting at the lows. We had overnight lows here. We had that very important 810 level yesterday that we played off of a few times.
What's this for?
That's a key. So we're gonna have this guy on with us. We're trying to get this stream up today. See how many people we can get on. We can give that giveaway away later on. I gotta see, possibly, if that's what we're gonna do. Catching a little bit of a bounce here. Markets have been strong. Kind of just sat around
Daddy,
all night.
you have 2 arms.
Mm-hmm.
You can move arms.
I might have to run off to take care of this guy here. So just be mindful of that. But Microsoft, we got rallying. We've been just sitting in this base pattern now since yesterday, since we got into this range. This is that all-time high, overnight high, all the highs is now in that yellow zone there.
This can open the door.
We can open one door, a very important door. It was that 810 yesterday. We drew the zone up because of that 810 zone yesterday. We reacted to it, that fake breakdown. It happened to break down a couple times and then rotate through it. Then overnight, we came to bounce. We bounced again here. See, if we get another flush through it, you could possibly look to short down through it. However, a bounce play doesn't seem like a terrible idea either. How'd you get in there?
Yeah.
You're on the computer. You're on the camera.
It's got it there too.
Mm-hmm.
What camera? And that camera?
Yeah, that's the camera, man.
How did it go there?
I don't know.
Where is it? Where is it, Dad?
Huh?
Where's that?
That's the camera there.
Why are you moving so fast? Why are you moving so fast?
So you got a good bounce from that. Let's see if it continues up.
There it is.
All right. NASDAQ 50-50 on the tilt. Nothing there. We are flat. We have no trades on the day. We started to push down. This 17,793.50 was that breakout point right down here. We ticked off of it once, twice overnight. Looks like we want to rotate off of it up. Here I am. All right, so we're at the opening range low. Stuck in a tight little range here. Nothing that I'm looking to play. I want to kind of be a little patient on it. Really just nothing doing here for me. Unless we do break down below this 810 and kind of hold down here, then look to rotate even further down. This is the overnight low, so I would look for a possible divergence here to see if I could get it to bounce. Not another realm of possibility here. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning in your face. Catching a little bounce. Well, it's sitting right on VWAP. A lot of times, we open in this kind of range here. It's going to do, a head fake here, a head fake there. Then maybe do some sort of decent run down, something like this, and then pop and rotate to the other side. So let's see. I'm going to be patient. Let me do something with this guy right here. I'm not looking to enter anything right now until maybe we push into those highs. Try to short that level. You need to go. Let's go. In a holding pattern. Give me 2 minutes. Sit up on there. Push play. You know what play is? Alright, the kid is back. Entertained. Might have to click around on them. You might hear some Paw Patrol running in the background, but just be mindful of that. I'm back on here. We're looking to see if we can catch something short moving forward here. This is 836.50 was very important here after we did this breakout. So I had this level drawn from yesterday when we broke down from here. Seems we popped above it and held pretty much all night. Once that happened, pop, rotate up, push through it one time and then rotate back above it. Same thing here, use it as a flush point. Now we're kind of trying to hold it. So trying to see if this 836 level will hold. If not, see if we could get a, maybe some sort of divergence strategy at this zone to look to get it to go short. If not, maybe a base pattern, you could take it long. So I'm bouncing back and forth, watching the youngest and doing the trading here. So I apologize about being on late, but we're here. We're going to be, if we can't stay on because I have the youngest here, we can't do our giveaway today, then potentially we'll do it tomorrow. But if we do get up to 25 viewers today, we will do that 3-month TradeCaster giveaway. So I'm going to be watching the viewer count here and there periodically. If I get that 25, we'll pop it off. The realities of streaming, trading, having a family, having jobs is that you need to be adaptable. You know, you have to be able to take care of your children, make sure you go to work. You know, don't let trading affect the day-to-day operations of your life. Eventually, you know, if it is your full-time job, maybe those 1 or 2 days where you have to focus on other things is it's worth focusing on those things and then not jumping into the markets right away just to do it. So that's what I'm up to right now, kind of in an in-between holding pattern with my trades. I might not execute because I'm just kind of recognizing where my mental state is and where my focus is going to be for the time being. We were looking at this 810 level when it got down here. I was contemplating along off of it, just purely based on how much we've respected this zone and how yesterday it became a pretty important level. So a bounce over here with a return to VWAP would be first target, and then up into 36s. If you're still holding, rotating back through that opening range high at 695 per contract. So if you did take something off of this zone just because you saw it there, you had it mindful from yesterday when I talked about that 810 level. So we do have Delta kind of trying to push here. There's a little bit of a bit of buyers coming in. Price is trying to break above this opening range high. If it does, you may get a good push into that 870, all-time high level. S&Ps aren't doing much. They're just kind of sitting in this range as well. So everything's been in this range. I don't want to play too much of this chop. There are opportunities there. You can capitalize on it. But for me, you'd have to kind of be catching tops and bottoms here, and that's very, very difficult to do at this time of day because of how whippy NASDAQ can get and which way it can go. The economic number for today was Fed barking talked at 7:30. Jobless claims came in lower than expected, so to me that's just another thing saying that the economy is still pretty strong, right? Less initial jobless claims means more workers are actually working, or less people are applying for unemployment type deal. Continuing same deal, 187.1. Anticipated was 190, and that's below, so that means that people are in the workplace. The workplace is strong. We're going to get wholesale inventories at 9. These are all not huge numbers, nothing that should move the needle either direction, but these are just things to kind of be mindful of while you're looking to price in certain things to your macroeconomic outlook on the trades. Right now, like I said, we're in an opening range. The range for the day is about 41 points, 1 points. For the NASDAQ, that's pretty tight. Bouncing back and forth. For me, nothing doing. Stuck in a little bit of a range. I'm not looking to take any of these until we do get maybe a pick of direction or a roll up to an extreme. Gonna have to wait till 9 o'clock probably to see any sort of real movement out of this zone. It may seem like there is good opportunity here due to this just being a clean move down, a clean move up, potentially going to be a clean move down. But really, for us, it's not quite opportunistic because at any point this could just break to the upside. It could rotate hard down, and we're not getting a clean setup at an extreme, right, where we're at an all-time high, overnight high, yesterday's close, something that's more relevant than middle of the zone, middle of VWAP that's been sitting here pretty much the entire night, right? So you're not maximizing opportunity to pick a direction, right? So you're going to let this thing maybe wedge out a bit, since we have been noticing that the wedges have been playing. So if we can get into a wedge, if this holds, right, this wedge pattern here holds, then maybe we can see this thing get a little bit of a breakout come 9 o'clock or, before. But that breakdown started to happen. I kind of want this thing to come into here to create that wedge, maybe right down into here, bottom of this zone, bottom of initial opening range, and then maybe crack out of there. That's my idea on this bottom end, but we don't have a bottom end right now. So let's just see what happens at the top end. My rules state no new trades within 5 minutes of that hourly close. So this is an hourly close. I'm not going to enter anything yet. Wait and see. Still be patient. See if this will rotate through the top end here or if it's going to falter. If you're over on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the fun things that you got to do on YouTube. If you are on YouTube and you want to come over to TradeCaster and you want to give it a shot, we do have a 7-day free trial. You hit the link that's in either the description of the video or the chat in there. We got the link. If we get 25 viewers over on TradeCaster by the end of the day today, I'll be doing a giveaway of a free month of TradeCaster, so that's cool. We did break out above this little zone here. I like to fade breakouts, so if we get a false breakout, maybe even up into that 865 to 870 in that upper range there, could look to short it, although it is trying to play along right now, right? Could minimize your risk there. Rotating to lows potentially. If it does break down from 3650, it sort of looks like it's failing this breakout, but we gotta watch it. Maybe get one more pop above. Even try to push this high again. Try and get more longs involved. Get a delta divergence here. Get a heavy tilt to the long side. Micro S&Ps is at 50-50, so I don't have anything there. S&Ps is kind of also just sitting right in the middle of its opening range. No information, right? That's that opening range there. S&Ps have been sitting right in between. No good information there on a direction either way. NQ, you see 30-minute candle bounced off of this trend line here. That's still kind of been acting as a support area. We had it act as a support there, still bouncing here. So the bounce play still could be in. We're still at these all-time high levels, so there is a chance it just continues to push up and push up and push up. Not sure how convincing I am on shorts or even on longs on how much higher they can go. I mean, obviously they can go as high as they want, but Delta's trying to push down. Price tried to push up and it failed. 50 level. Could look to short through this opening range high. Take one shot at it. But it looks pretty strong right now. See what Microsoft and Nvidia and those names are doing. Microsoft's rotating back down. Nvidia pushed off of that zone and is trying to sit above it. Apple continuing its doldrums. Google, Amazon. Amazon pushing up a little. Meta also sitting down. So Microsoft falters and gets down into this zone. That could be a buy. We'll watch that. It's been our helpful leader amongst the names for the last few days. And Nvidia as well. So if these kind of continue to fade off, then you should get a failed breakout here and then a rotation down. So that's what I'll be looking at. I'll set a short right here into there. Put my risk above this point here per contract. A lot of these breakouts, if they fail, they'll fail quick. So, you know, I'm anticipating this to be maybe a fake break to the upside, rotate back down. I'm going to do this with one contract here. Like I said, with these highs, I am very standoffish to kind of play these rotation fades of the high because there is a chance that it still rips your face off once you get entered. So I am going in on one contract on this and see how much I can grab out of it. First target or first interesting point will be that 36.50 because it was support. It was the breakout point right here. Then beyond that, it's going to be VWAP and the opening range low, right? So, you know, ideally we'll be able to get to the overnight opening range low, even down to 810. 810 would be the target, like the ultimate target there. I would love it just to hit my entry and just melt it right away, right? That would be fantastic. Reasonably speaking, I think we are still holding up a bit, but like I said, Microsoft is still pushing to the downside a bit. Nvidia also. Apple is pushing on lows and trying to break lower. So those are the three names that are the most important for me to be looking at with the NASDAQ. And NASDAQ is still pushing up in spite of those things, which is interesting to me. So you've got that next little breakout here. Could that be confirming that this is going to be a breakout? S&Ps are trying to push above that opening range high. So there's that. All right, I'm going to leave that there. But I may look for another entry up here. You got a decent push, but Delta's not playing positive yet. It's still a negative Delta as we push higher. So that first entry could come right even below here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to fade that move. To me, that seems like it's just trying to grab some liquidity from above and rotate us down. So that's where I'm looking to short this from here. See if I can catch this move to fail hard, fast, and quick. So we may add one down here. There we go. We're actually not going to add anything. We're going to just leave it. See if we can hold below here. I'm going to leave my stop where it is. But if we can accept into that opening range, maybe down closer to 836.50, I'm going to go to break even, which it seems that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go to break even. Free trade here. I may look to see if I can catch an add if we do kind of continue this flush down. If it catches at a bounce right here, right now, then we're going to get stopped out, and that's fine by me because I think that a hard bounce rotates us to the highs again. Then we can look for another entry to rotate back down to lows. But that's just where I'm at with this. Oh, I don't want that there. Yeah, we're out. Came up to tag this out on that break even. Up 25 bucks. So we are break even. I just, like I said, at these all-time high levels, some of these failed moves and then bounces off of levels tend to screw me over. So we're going to get one re-entry here at our initial point of entry, and then we're just going to leave our stop there. So see if we can get this thing to continue to flush through the bottom. Microsoft is still pushing down. Really no bounce at all after that bounce. Nvidia is also pushing down, and Apple is breaking lows and making new lows while we're trying to make new highs here. So that's all telling me I'm going to take the second entry on it. So this would have been where I was going to get in originally. So that stop out is not a big deal. I just wanted to see if I could catch it and hold it a bit. Holding this breakout, but I don't trust it to be holding that. So we should hopefully rotate again through the bottom. May need to add a sell stop here, try and average in, take one off at 36.50. Because anything that breaks through here hard down to the bottom of this wick again should get us a nice little flush. So we are getting a nice push. Getting that nice push. I want to add that second one on and pretty much take it off right at 36.50. That's my goal here. Not trying to overdo it, but I am trying to use this momentum to my favor. Microsoft is catching a slight bid, but I think I can get this off before it does bounce. Come on, get it off. Get down to 36.50. If we can't, then we're going to get stopped out just above this breakout point. That looks like we want to catch that to the 36.50 level there. Well, if, like I said, if not, it's just going to kind of rally us off here and get us stopped out just above there. But that's a minimal loss, only $100. So I'm leaving it there. 150. Put them together though. I don't want them to get stopped out separately. Didn't get ticked off on our first take profit yet. 36.50 is that first take profit. Just above it, I'm front running it a touch. Not enough, I guess, because that really the top of that wick there is what would have got hit off on. If we didn't get stopped out on that first entry, we would be good. We would be wouldn't have been taking this little bit of heat on it, but we took off one contract. We got stopped out on only one there, so I guess that's good. And now I'm gonna look to see if this will play the full rotation then, since I got one off, but as a sort of a loss there at break even. Amazing how it ticked to the tick. It happened to me yesterday also, so I'm not too mad about it. Just kind of happens in this game where you don't get your first one off where you want to get it off. Microsoft still trying to play to the downside, so it should give us that confluence to rotate through. We are sitting basically break even right now on the day. If this gets stopped out, we'll be down 100. My computer's frozen now all of a sudden. So there we go. Thought it was frozen. I think it was just pausing. Price was pausing. It was just weird when it does that sometimes. Didn't get the follow through on that we wanted to, so we are down 125. I'd rather take a quick little loser on that than to play along and get chopped up and then rip my face off. So we are down 125. Cool. Can make that back in one trade, no problem. Oop. Down 125 on that trade there. Nothing too big. Like I said, we're looking to try and just get this thing to rotate down. All of our confluences told us, hey, Microsoft's pushing down. We wicked off this high here. Probably should have left this stop until we conferred, but it is what it is. We can't be beggars here. I want to see maybe get one more push up and then we can rotate it, but now we're just going to go in our direction again. Can we crack this? This is a bounce location. Delta's pushing our way. S&P's is going our way. Microsoft's going our way. I'm going to sell this. Oh, I missed it. It's okay. I don't want to chase it. Actually, I want to wait a second. Give me a bounce up into that zone again. Maybe give us another opportunity to catch a short at the higher end. But Microsoft is trying to bounce now. Maybe that's liquidity grab to run us up to highs. So realistically, what we should have right now is would have had two on, and then potentially leave the stop at this high here. And then take that first one off right where we were right here, and then have that one runner on. But kind of just got a little tight on it. Didn't trust the price action there, and there it goes. So I'm going to push this to the lows. One contract only. No ads on this one from the bottom end of a breakdown of this 36.50 level. If it's not going to fail, it's going to stop us out. That's, like I said, that's cool. I wanted to see this thing get flushed. There, it's out. So we're going to stop playing this level for now. Down 3. 2 half losses, so still in the game. A little bit just playing in the chops, and I'm going to be standoffish a little bit. I'm going to wait a second, let this thing develop again. We did have a great entry up here. Just got stopped out just for a small winner there, $20. You know, slight winner, break even. I'll consider it. We wanted to see it rotate to 36.50, which we did, but we got stopped out, like I said, on a bounce off this breakout spot. If we could get this to now break down from this little bit of a wedge now right here through that 36.50 level, then you can look to see it rotate. If this is going to continue now onto the high side, just be mindful of that as well. We do have these all-time high. It's so hard to be playing these. Any sort of bounce, like I said, Microsoft's got a little bit of a bounce. NVIDIA also pushing down on lows. Apple just continuing to flush lower. It's just nonstop. So NVIDIA in a liquidity zone that I have drawn up here could rotate down. Take this short one more time. It's in a bounce zone though, NVIDIA. It is bouncing. Bouncing. This is what makes me nervous about these breakdowns, right? You got this in this zone here. You got Microsoft was trying to push lows and gave it a little bounce. Apple just flushed that low, and we're not really getting any follow through. Look at it. Push up. We grabbed some more orders at 36.50, including my own. Being patient, doing our best here to try and just get this to you see Microsoft giving that really strong push higher now. NVIDIA giving that bounce from that zone, possibly looking to reject it. If it does accept above it, then you could get this rotation up. And Apple, just like I said, just continuing to be dragged down. Microsoft got that bounce. But these are kind of disconnected right now. This was the move that we wanted to take. We could have, if we got on with the 2 contracts, could have got up, you know, probably what we're down right now. We'll see if we can get another rejection of this area here. This is kind of no longer relevant, even though it did play as a breakout point. So I'll leave it there for now. You got Delta pushing up also while we are pushing up, trying to make highs. Price didn't make the highs that Delta's trying to make, so should get a continued follow through here. Buyers are coming in. See if the tilt shows anything. Tilt is 60% long, so maybe we get this thing up into here, get another little liquidity grab just like that. You could short that zone once again. Just kind of play this range a bit. that push? If this fails again, oh, you got Microsoft really pushing. Nvidia did get the bounce off that zone. And Apple's going to be the only thing that's really holding us back. The trade right there was this one. I mean, realistically for me. 65% long on the tilt. We can get one more push up, get that tilt a little even more heavy in this zone there. Yeah, the high is up above that zone. That's the high, all-time high. The bottom end of that zone has really been like a resistance point. I don't want these on here. Okay, so we can see if this will reject. Microsoft approaching the pre-market highs. Not quite getting there. If I want to try and just catch a small little piece of this thing, I get into this yellow zone here once again and try and fade it. Maybe get another candle like that. That'd be beautiful. We bounced off that trend line again on that 30 minute, so it's still acting as a good support area for a bounce play. Down 3 on a couple just we broke even and took a hard loss here. I'm trying to pray to catch that follow through. Really, we shouldn't have took this one here. So that was the one kind of chasey move there that we took. We're looking to see if we can get one of these things to give us a false breakout above, grab some liquidity into this yellow zone, and maybe rotate us back down into this trend, you know, or back into the value area here, high as 855. But Microsoft is still pushing up. Before we had this wick off, we started to rotate, which kind of started to drag the NQs down. So I want to watch that, and Nvidia, which is now also trying to accept into its little zone there. So maybe we can get this to rotate from here, just based on a structure point, based on this being maybe a lower high. I'll fade this. There we go. I'll try and get one off. Ooh. Try and get one off down here, and then trail that last one off. Didn't quite get in the zone, but I saw Nvidia really accepting back into that value zone. So I think that this could start to rotate down right here. You got Delta starting to try and push. I want to see this just accept back below this value area high. Just be like a false little push up and then get myself out. Get one off at the bottom end of this here, and then get a second off, maybe trail it down as we approach 3650. If we're going to continue to the high side, so be it. We'll be out. Looks like it's pushing higher now. We're getting actual buying coming in here, maybe. Like I said, this yellow zone is that important area right above here. Is the stop. It should be right there. If it's just going to tick that yellow zone and come out. I did take 2. Like I said, I should have been. I was a little standoffish to take 2 contracts on these highs, but now that's showing us why, right? Because could just get that run over. Microsoft still trying to falter at these highs, so maybe we could get it to rotate down, help us out here, get that first contract off, and then have a runner on. Come on now, accept into that overnight that value area high. There we go. We're accepting. We hit off right on our zone there, so if we can get this first contract off, we'll be in good shape to continue to rotate down. There we go. We got the first one off. We're gonna get rid of this stop because it's 2 guys. Now we're just going to see how far we can get this to go. If this is going to rotate from this high now, this could be the true breakdown. We're going to be mindful of this opening range high, then beyond down to 3650. If we can flush 3650, we should get a full rotation to the other end of the zones, at least to 810. That's really my target if it breaks that 3650. So there we are. We're up. on that. We're going to go to break even. If this is going to fail, then it's going to fail and get me out anyway. So I want to be at break even on the trade. So all it takes is one good trade to get yourself back into your rhythm here. Yeah, I took off there just one contract at the bottom here because I wasn't able to get my first one off before, so I wanted to front run it again this time. S&Ps is rotating down, and Qs are rotating down. If we can hold below 3650, could be that true flush point. I'm going to be above the breakdown right there. We got the point of control, so if it does want to get back above there, so be it. I mean, this has been a really strong bounce point from before, so we are looking at Microsoft rolling. Microsoft's pushing down. NVIDIA also accepting into this zone, this value zone. So we do bounce from 3650. That's kind of expected. But if we get through it, then we can possibly look to continue that rotation down to 810 is that first real next support zone where I want price to get to. But if we, like I said, we have to get through 836.50 for that to happen. It was a good call there at the top. I was able to put my stop at a good location just above that swing from yesterday. We did grab more liquidity here. We've now cracked through this little support and failed breakout, rotate down. Any sort of real good push down through 3650 should never come back to it. So let's see if that's true. If it's not, if we get wiki, and VWAP starts to hold, then maybe we start to trail a bit tighter here, but we got to let it do its thing. Try and let it get down through that 3650 because there is going to be a buyer there. It's going to hold us up just a touch. If it's going to be a true sell, then it should break through it. There we go. Trying to break it. I'm going to go to just above the opening range high. Now that's just for me, for my trailing idea here, because if we do get a hard bounce, I want to at least accept back up to a point where I'm pretty much break even on the day. We're up just a touch right now with this trade at where it's at right now, up floating about 70 ticks in profit. Really do feel like this is a bit heavy. Should kind of give us a rotation down to that 810 level with this breakdown. 1, 2, third touch breakdown. 1, 2, third touch on that. The only thing really holding us here is that VWAP and that 3650 level. So we got to flush 3650, flush VWAP. We got to break VWAP with some force here. Hopefully you can kind of understand the reasoning of why I took what I did, where I took it on all of my trades so far. But right now, sitting in about 70 ticks, like I said, 60 to 70 ticks in profit on this trade. Really trying to let it have that sort of breathing room to get through this 3650. Could have left the stop all the way at the highs here, but I feel like if we do break above this high of this opening range, then we do rotate fast to the high side. So that's why my stop is where it is. If we do break above here, we're probably going to run up. So if I get stopped out there, then I'm going to end up being out for the full position. Sometimes the breakdown doesn't happen right away. But here, we're going to try it one more time. Got to get down through that 3650. That should give us the nice flush. If we break it this time and we get a nice little move down here, then I'm going to move my stop to 3650, secure a little bit more of this move. Come on down. Come on down. Let's get it. Pushing that level, pushing on that level. If we can crack it here, should get a good flush. That looks like it's going to be a good flush here. Come on now. Got to push through VWAP, though. Can't be bouncing off VWAP. Got to push through it. Not quite playing along. Come on, get through. Get through, get through it, get through it. Give me a push. Delta is not pushing, just sitting there. No new sellers. Get a little heavy. Come on. I want to see a nice heavy Delta push here. It's just sitting flat, sitting even. If we can get the break here, I'm going to probably move right just above this little top end of the wedge here. I need to break it though. I want to wick through VWAP, secure a little bit more of this profit. Price isn't quite pushing through, but it could give me that break shortly. I'm going to move it there now because if it does break above, then I think it might pop and get us to our stop anyway. So Microsoft's rotating. Is NVIDIA pushing? NVIDIA's kind of just sitting in that range there. So I just need this thing to crack now. It's more of like a time thing for me than it is price action. I took myself out there. So we're back now into the green. If I was sitting in some sort of profit where I was comfortable risking some of the gain there, I would have held it just a little longer. But I realized if we did hold this that much, we hold and we break above here, we'll probably get stopped out at that high there. So we are green on the day, $115. Nice little red to green there. So now we are looking for that that one good trade, right? Sitting profitable, 553, up about 100. There's that grab of some liquidity, but you do have delta pushing up, so be careful with it. Making sure this guy's good. You good, Max? Yeah. All right. He's good in the back there. So trying to be daddy, trying to be trader, trying to be coffee company running, doing a lot of things all at once. Live streaming while trading doesn't make it easier, but to me it kind of just keeps me more accountable for certain moves that I'm doing. This could be your true break at 36.50 now that we're getting that delta push. Could try it with a one contract, but I don't like doing anything around VWAP. I got myself in trouble doing it before earlier this week, so kind of just want to make sure that we stick to our rules, stick to our guns. Got to get back up to an area or get down below. Not going to play a breakdown to this because it could just be a failed breakdown. Then Microsoft could hold its wedge and rip up, and then we'll be getting our face ripped off again because NVIDIA also is at a buy point, really. I mean, it is getting heavy. It's pushing down into this zone, but there is bids here that could get filled and pop us off as well. So just being careful. And then with Apple just continuing to melt off, or just getting that heaviness in the market. But you can see there's that actual push right through. We were one candle, two candles too late. I didn't want to get stopped up here. Sure as hell didn't want to get back to break even. Once I got the one off, like I said, if I was in more of a profitable position, I gotta get rid of these. These don't mean nothing to me right now. If I was in a little bit more of a profitable position where I was not down a couple good losses and this was going to get me back to break even, and we try not to trade our P&Ls here, but at the same time, if we do get the opportunity to get ourselves back from red to green and we see price kind of stagnating and potentially looking to give back some of those gains, I'll just take that off there and be happy with that move, especially because I expected 36.50 to be a point of where it could be bouncing all night. Even on the times it came back to it, it rejected it and held it and then ran up. So just kind of based on some of that action there. But realistically, like I said, if we were going to get a flush of it, it was going to come down at least to the other end of the opening range and potentially to 810, right? So now we're going to be looking to see if it's going to hold as resistance to rotate it back down to 810. I would have had my stop just above here, so we would have probably got stopped out at the VWAP there. It's just another $100. So, we didn't cost ourselves too much because based on our trailing rules, I would have been down to VWAP with the breakdown like that, especially if we got already to that opening range low. And if I was looking to target that 810 level, right? Look, see that failed breakdown? That thing failed hard and failed fast. That's what we look for with failed moves, right? If it's coming down, it's going to grab some liquidity, have a hard time getting through it, only get through it to the first little target area and pop back up through that zone. You can anticipate this thing to run right up into those highs just based on the price action here. And you can see Microsoft, like I said, it could hold this wedge and continue to push up. And if that pop happens at all, you're going to get that in the NQ, and that's exactly what we got there. So it worked out. I mean, realistically, didn't cost ourselves any money there. We would have probably only made maybe another 100 on this based on the way prices just ripping our face off like I expected. So good on us. We got that bounce on Nvidia from the bottom. You can see that liquidity zone there. We are red to green right now. I'm not going to try and jump into anything just randomly here. We're going to look to see maybe we get back into the yellow zone once again, or if we clear out those all-time highs. Some of you people may be looking to play momentum breakouts on those all-time highs, especially with Nvidia being strong, holding up, Microsoft being holding up above that zone. It's not quite that it's strong right now, but it is holding above that zone that we used as a short yesterday. It was a short when we got into here, then it held above, and it was a long above. So now we're looking to see, is it going to be support? Are we going to hold this trend line here from pre-market lows on up? The only thing that we have that's a real problem is Apple. That's the heaviness, but also you get that wick off bottom there. Still kind of at a support level at 187. So as long as it holds above 187, you could still continue to get a bounce off of Apple. And any sort of pop on Apple gives these other names just a little bit of a reason to give it a little high pop. So just watching, waiting, being patient, see where this ends up a little bit. We're green. It's a small green right now. Small green right now. This is a nice little rotation. You could see it on the 30-minute. 30-minute held this trend line. We broke out yesterday. We held it, and then we were flat all the rest of the night, overnight, into today. Right around 8 a.m., 7:30 a.m., you got to bounce off that 93 level, and then we bounced off that upward trend line again. This is really a trend zone. I don't want to call it a trend line. We've broken above and below it a few times, but every time we've come back to it, one touch, two touch, this breakdown kind of held below it, failed to break, held it again. So it is still relevant, even though it got broken once or twice. So watch these highs, see what happens here. We're going to go back to this screen. We're going to see if we can get anything in that range again to see if we can fade that high, get a short going. If not, this is going to be strong and continue to push up. Every day green is another day a step closer to just doing better. Continuing to have that up and to the right profit curve. Minimizing that loss on days where you're taking multiple losses, and maximizing your gains on the trades that you do take that you are able to play out, right? This ended up not getting that full follow through to 810, which kind of does tell me that we are going to possibly rotate higher. We got that lower, higher low. I mean, we were pushing higher highs a bit, so let's see if this can continue up. If not, if it falters and fails here, then maybe we got to see. Playing daddy today. Might have to do the giveaway tomorrow just because I'm doing a multitude of different things at the moment. Really not quite able to dedicate the whole focus to the giveaway. I apologize for that, but realistically, I gotta get to that 25 count and be able to interact, and then get everybody into this room and provide some value and get going with it. And hopefully we can do this giveaway. I think Deck's doing a giveaway tonight, so possibly see where that goes to, and then see where our giveaway could help add on to that a bit. So we got a little bit of a delta push down there, which was kind of nice. I don't have anything tilt wise because I don't see it yet. It's got to scroll across the screen, which kind of hurts me a bit. I'm still waiting for my top step X to come back. I lost that one a while ago. Once you lost it once, you don't get a chance to get it. It's still kind of in beta testing right now, so I don't have a real-time tilt until it scrolls across the screen, which it's currently about 56% long still, so we still have a longer bias. It's not heavy, so it could still catch that bounce. Just being patient, being more of a targeted assassin in this market than anything. If I would like to play a breakdown of this trend line, 830, once again, 830 needs to break. Delta is pushing pretty good now. We get some confluence here. It's like a congruent move to the downside between Delta, new sellers, and the price moving down. You got this wedge pattern here that Microsoft's trying to hold up. Nvidia rotating off its highs. So Microsoft's the only thing holding us up here. If Microsoft does decide that it wants to crack and break, maybe if we get a wick off top here above 855, you could rotate that down again. If not, if Microsoft starts to push off and Nvidia does break highs, then yeah, there's Microsoft catching a bid. Good? You need help? What do you got? You want this? What happened? You have to go potty?
No.
We take off your diaper. It's all wet. How much is in your diaper? Can I take it off? Yes?
Well, I'm trying to pee and take on my diaper.
Good, go pee and take your diaper off. Come on. Let's go do that. We'll pause it and we'll come back. Come on, let's go. Go potty. Give me a pause here. Gotta take care of daddy duties for a minute. Yeah, absolutely, buddy. All right, we're back, and I didn't miss anything because prices just bouncing back and forth in that zone once again to be doing a lot of nothing.
Daddy?
Sorry, I was. Yes, buddy. Oh, you gotta turn the iPad on. I'm balancing daddy duties, streaming duties, trading duties, coffee duties, all the duties. All right. So we're still watching price stay in this chop range here, right? There's nothing. The only thing that I see right now, just coming back to the chart, is that the S&Ps and the Nasdaq are diverging. You can see that the NQ here is, the ES is trying to push down below its opening range low, and the Nasdaq pushing up to highs. So there is a divergence here. You can see you got some pushing down there, some push up there, and now we're kind of continuing that upside push. Yeah, everything is pushing higher here. The ES grabbed some liquidity there, but Microsoft not doing much on here. You reached the high end of this little wedge and starting to rotate down. Is Nvidia popping? Yeah, it bounced off that low there and it's pushing to highs. And I'm guessing Apple. Yeah, Apple's still pushing lows. So Microsoft, if Nvidia continues up, if NQ pushes up through, Microsoft probably will pop as well. So if you play the equities, be mindful of that. Could get a continuation on Microsoft because of Nvidia. Could actually even get the S&Ps to play along. %, 54% short in the S&Ps. We have like a 57% long in the micro NAS. So that's pushing us up. We're gonna get to all-time highs right here. I don't think we get to within a tick of it, and we don't get it. So we're probably gonna break all-time highs once again right now, and then see if the rally is on. And once we break it, like I said, I'm not breakout momentum, all-time high, kind of willing to risk my money on that. So we're gonna be just watching here. This is gonna be a patience day. If I could end the day up 115 on a choppy morning, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Our executions were there, our trails were there. We tried one maybe that was a bit aggressive, but realistically, just wanted to shoot my shot at it, see if I could get it to get that continuation, which we didn't. The first entry was a good short, and we just got stopped at break even. Second entry, same deal, but we added. We actually went up. And then the third, we just quite couldn't trail. So we've been back and forth. Sorry, I'm just bouncing back and forth. We did tick off on that all-time high level there. Our new all-time high now is 17,876.50. Where are you going? You wandering around. You're going to see a little curly-headed guy wandering around in the back of my stream. It's okay. He belongs here. I think. You belong here? You're good? Yeah? Well, you're being funny. All right. So all-time highs. Once again, I'm not sure if I'm going to play a breakout here. You know, you do got a basing pattern, liquidity grab below, rotation to highs could be a convincing break, or it could fail. Like I said, you got the divergence between the NQs and the S&Ps, right? Still showing that S&Ps bottom end of that opening range, NASDAQ breaking all-time highs. So where's the disconnect there? We need to see what is actually driving this to these highs. What kind of moves are happening, right? With Microsoft not really breaking out. If the only thing pushing higher is Nvidia, and that's what's pushing this market higher, that's kind of nuts, right? Meta still stuck in a range. Apple still below that 188 level. Yeah, we caught a bounce on it. So maybe Apple catching a little bit of a bounce from lows and having Microsoft and Nvidia holding up above their buy zones. You know, maybe that's what's causing this, but I think this is just NQ acting on its own. If you play divergences, you're getting new all-time highs in NASDAQ, and you are kind of lagging behind in the S&Ps. You could look to maybe see that S&P catch up, or one of the two have to catch up. We'll see which one it is. Nothing doing for me. I can sit on my hands the rest of the day and not be happy, but become comfortable knowing that I avoided certain disasters here. I don't want to just get in front of these freight trains. I also don't want to try and hop along because I don't know where it's going to end up. It could just roll right over right as I enter, because these all-time high levels I have nothing. I have no information here. We're on a steady incline on our 100K account, sitting at almost halfway to that 106 profit target. We're at 102. We anticipate passing all three of these by the end of next week. See what happens. I'm not rushing this. I want to let something set up from here now. Just like we did yesterday, we did a really good job of being very, very patient, waiting for something to come along for us to set up, get us an opportunity, and then execute there. What are you doing? You need this to turn on? Want to learn to trade? You want something different? Watch this. That looks cool. Want to watch this? Oh, cards. That's cool. Take it. Evo. The only real opportunity, like I said, if the reason I got out of this one here is because I felt any acceptance above that opening range was probably going to lead us to the highs of this zone here. I don't like this is not my strategy. I talked about it yesterday. I talked about it the day before. I talked through trades that are good, higher potential to kind of work out. But for me, I don't really have that conviction on certain trades like that. I'm looking to try and execute on just my strategy. I want to fade some extreme levels. Like right now, this would be fantastic for my strategy right up into here. But also, the one real big looming factor is that these are all-time highs and I have no levels to work with. So yes, it is an extreme. It's an all-time high. I can't pick a top yet. We are getting a little bit of a delta push down. Price, maybe if it tries to push up again, we can maybe fade it, try and risk our little bit of a gain to catch a bigger move to the downside. But I don't know. With Apple on lows, possibly able to catch a good bounce, Nvidia breaking these highs, and Microsoft continuing to rally, I don't have anything telling me you should get in right now. That's just not there. Microsoft's at a key zone there. We do have that high end over here. Microsoft has these key levels right there and right there. It's hard to be excited about all-time highs, especially in the market environment that we're at. It's like really great if you have a ton of capital to work with, that you're kind of willing to just risk a bunch of drawdown to build yourself into a position for a bigger term, longer term short. But for intraday type traders, like this could rally all day and still be comfortably in a range where somebody could build in, 1, 2, all the way up to 970. If you were short from here and you just only have one contract, if you have the account to withstand a $1,500 loss, you can just build into this thing all the way up and then get your rotation to the downside. That's kind of what some of these bigger players are probably doing. For us small fish, we're looking to just catch small pieces to mitigate losses, to just maximize gains on the day. You might not have that ability to build into that kind of position all the way up into an all-time high on a weak fed, talks about not getting that rate cut, a super strong market environment, but also at the same time, you got record high credit card defaults, just debts are through the roof. Any sort of little bit of a blip in the economy could spell some disaster for it. But right now we're rallying to all-time highs, right? So we're walking a very tight rope when it comes to the financial markets. And for me to see this at all-time highs and pushing beyond is kind of an opportunity for some longer-term, bigger player shorts. That's just my overall thesis on it. And it's not even like a whippy move up, right? So you're not. It feels like there's just not a ton of people in here trying to buy this up, but there's also a lot of people here that are afraid to sell these all-time highs. So we could get that fear greed index. Back up here, still looking at extreme greed. Just anything in this area here, when your neighbor, like I said yesterday in the stream towards the end, where your neighbors are coming to you saying, wow, markets are at all-time highs, we should probably keep buying these things are looking great, right? We should get in on Nvidia, let's get in on this, let's get in on that. And you understand that when there's extreme greed, you should start to be looking to sell. When there's extreme fear, you should start to look to buy. You want to kind of be counterintuitive. That's what my strategy is on an intraday basis. There's a rejection in that spot there, so potential. I'm looking at that on an intraday basis, but also macroly, like if all of it lines up together, then you should be able to get that full move, in a longer term. S&P's is trying to catch up. So like I said, if you were a divergence trader and you were looking to get one of the two to catch up, with the NASDAQ pushing at these highs and the S&P was at the lower end of its opening range, you could have probably caught a little bit of a buy order there, and been sitting in some profits for now per contract, about $150. So if the NASDAQ continues on, then the S&Ps will probably just get dragged along with it up a bit. This is the delta divergence we look for. The price is making new highs, and delta is just continually to get more and more and more negative. So I look to see if that's going to be an entry for me. Nvidia failing tops. Maybe get one more wick off here, and then I can really limit my risk on it. NQ is long, only about 60%. I want to see this thing give me like a hard, really push up, and then delta stay right down here. That'd be my ideal setup. So then if it does that, I would just short right through the bottom here through 90 and try to rotate it down. I need to push one more push higher before I decide to take this short. Something tells me it still just wants to get bid up. would have taken. Oh, you saw that little bounce there. You're getting a little bit of a delta. Oh, there's a push down actually. Let's see. Let's see if we play this breakdown here. I don't trust it. I'm gonna talk myself out of it. I'm not taking it. I'm gonna be a little, even more patient. But Nvidia is now trying to rotate low. Mommy's home. Mommy's home. You okay right now? Okay, Microsoft rejected that level, and Nvidia also rotated a little bit off that high. So watch this thing to continue to the downside. Nice shirt. He had I gave him Tylenol a little while ago. Can you pour me some coffee?
Okay, you did it?
I just made it. Should be done. Alrighty. Nothing doing. Sitting up 115. I saw this delta divergence coming in here at the top. Really could have been an easy short from that 90 level. You're risking to the high here. Maybe give it a little bit more, $100. But we were looking to see if we can get a little more of a pop above and then a fail down, because anything breaking down here is just not trustworthy quite yet. Apple came up to that level and failed it. Microsoft came up to that level and failed there. And Nvidia is also faltering at the top. That was the confluence I needed to try and get this thing to push down, but really it's not faltering with any sort of real push to the downside. So maybe this gives us another run up here. Ain't got nothing. Maybe the S&Ps are leading. Maybe that they're rotating from their opening range high down to the lows. We could get this to drag down now. Oh, that works. Thank you. Day trading coffee company mug here. Beautiful thing. Tilt is 56% short. $10. Market's now can possibly pick a direction, see if they're going to want to continue on now, if we're going to get a little bit of another pop up to get ourselves short. This delta is kind of just continuing to push us to the downside. Do have to be mindful of that breakout point of that previous all-time high right here at 75 3/4. So we're going to hit off on it there. Did call out the short here with the delta divergence. Didn't take it because we didn't get another real push on up. Could have took it there. You know, been sitting about 300 per contract. Didn't. And we are now just waiting for the next one. Very hard for me to be convinced on anything at all-time highs. You know, much of these moves are going to be very unorthodox. Some of them aren't going to play out the same way that they should play out. Some of them are, like this one kind of just did. But I'd rather hold on to my slightly green day before. But I want, you know, something like an A-plus type deal. Maybe now if we run up to these highs, you know, wick off on the high and we get NVIDIA and Microsoft to both play along and continue to rotate down, and Apple continues to just be beaten up and rotate off of this 188 15 to 20 level. It is starting to feel heavy. Still congruent in delta. I'm sure tilt is starting to get heavy short. That's the only other issue there. So there's another pop up to 885. Yeah, that'd be good. Really don't have anything for myself. Yeah. Right now, just waiting, being patient, waiting. The heaviness is there, but also at the same time, there's the NVIDIA monster. The NVIDIA monster worries me. That short there from the top is money, though. Absolutely money. Microsoft pushing off lows. My standoff niche kind of helped me out of a good trade there. I think realistically, taking that short from that secondary push with the delta just being so weak, it was just consistently getting push down, and the price was trying, but just that should have told me it wasn't going to break that high. You could have legit just set your stop right below this candle. Entry right here. If you got a bad fill, you could have easily risked $150 and never even came close to catching any heat on it. To be sitting up about a 2-to-1 here, but with the potential of a full rotation, if it accepts below the previous all-time high. But right now we're sitting right on that, so that thesis is yet to show its face. Trading tight today. Look at the price action. You got very, very tight action here. I played some shorts here, didn't get any follow through. We were break even on one. We took a loss on the other. This is the one we took 2 in. We had our stops up here. We had a 2 guy on. Took one off at that resistance level there because it's just the way things are playing out. And then as we approached that 36 level that we thought was going to be a support level, we trailed our stop a bit tight. So that got us from red to green right there. And now, we broke through VWAP. We came back. We retested it. We retested that 3650 level, which is really more important than VWAP. But being above an uptrending VWAP shows us, the levels may be more likely to hold. And then now rotate all-time highs. Now we're pushed from that 36 level through all-time highs. We're still sitting above that previous all-time high, looking to try and maybe crack it to the downside. I'm going to get rid of that line there. That's not important to me. This may be important. Just watch that. Be mindful of it. Crack of this could rotate you through the highs again with some momentum. Any little start to bid up with some stronger delta, we have no levels above. We have no targets. You could use some fib extensions from previous swings and stuff like that, which helped me find a target earlier. And here, I had it set up somewhere. Down here is where I had that first initial target, that red line from a previous fib extension tool, and obviously it went right to that and kind of stagnated. So it's good to have that. Maybe if that's something that you're interested in to look for those new all-time high levels, maybe get a fib extension from here. A fib extension, I usually use that 61%, so way up there. I'll call that the move. That 18,000 level isn't out of the realm of possibilities if that's what you're looking at, right? You're looking at a push up, a base, a break above it, and then you can run up, 61.8%, 61% further, which really leads you right into that 18,000 level. So don't leave it out of the realm of possibilities that could occur. Something like that there could occur right here, and it's going to be laughable. So we're going to do that. It's laughable there, and I'm going to put it there just to show that I put it here today. You can come in here and see it later on, but 18,000 based on that fib extension, that's what that's there for. So if it comes up and hits off on that laughing smiley face, you know why, because I think it's hilarious that markets just continue to want to be so strong. Microsoft, again, pushing down to the bottom end of that wedge. Right there. It's been holding. Held this top end of this resistance level here from those highs prior. So be mindful of that. Maybe it gets back up into there. Then you could short it through the bottom. Or this could be that third touch breakdown. Continue us to rotate. But looks like if it hits here and wants to catch a bid, markets are going to continue to do whatever they want. NVIDIA all-time high, pushing up. Not all-time highs, but pushing up through these highs, you know, looking to potentially bull flag and rotate to the high of the day. Once we got into that buy zone, that buy liquidity zone, that was the resistance zone yesterday, it helped us catch our short. This can help you understand where that buy might come in and the pressure might rotate from here, right? So we were getting down into there around 9:15. 9:15 was right here. So we were pushing those lows. Once you get into that buy zone, you got the pop. You got the pop in NVIDIA. You got the pop right here. So you see that how the confluences kind of play along. Microsoft looking to want to maybe crack that downward trend, that trend line there. Ooh, Deck gonna do a lunch hour live stream, huh? Interesting. Down on the day, Deck, I think a little bit. There's really not a lot going on. I got nothing. This thing cracks here. If Microsoft cracks this, this could be that failed break of a wedge. Like I said, you got all these highs here in Delta not even coming anywhere near it. Price is trying to make a secondary push to the run up here. If you fail down bottom here, then possibly look to get that thing to now rotate, catch up to the S&P and push down. I don't see. Oh. There's Microsoft breaking it. NVIDIA. Apple failing that level as well. So there's that Microsoft break. See if that's gonna hold. It is breaking, so if we take a one guy here and just let it breathe and see what happens. It's got to fail that breakout though. The fail breakout, you know, below here, below this wick here. I want to fail that. That's where I would like to see this thing fail and really rotate harder to the downside. But we've kind of been just like in this slow grind to the upside at a new all-time high. Microsoft maybe looking to fail that there too. You know, based on the way Deck is pumping up his little giveaway tonight, I might want to hold off on mine anyway. I'm not gonna pump up this room here. It was a daddy duty kind of day where I needed to take care of some things. Wasn't able to really hype up the day today, so maybe let Deck do his giveaway and then kind of adjust my giveaway from there. But I really still want to get everybody up to the 25. If we do get up to the 25 viewers today, we will give up that free month of TradeCaster. Still looking to grow the count, grow the viewer base, but it seems like everybody's kind of in a holding pattern to see what Deck's going to do tonight. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not necessarily coming over here and grabbing, getting that viewer count up when you're waiting to see if Deck's going to give away the farm. Either way, I love trading over here at TradeCaster. You'll find me here trading every single day at 8:30 Central till 11. Realistically, my daddy duties took over this morning, so we're possibly going to get entered short here if this thing continues to push down. So let's just watch it. S&P is pushed down hard through their little opening range low here. So that opening range low, got the divergence here. We're looking to see if this will kind of continue to push to the downside. False breakout to the high side, rotate down. Because Microsoft broke that trend line to the downside, Apple is rotating off. NVIDIA is trying to push the high. So that's the only thing that's holding up. If we can get NVIDIA to fail, then we can get this thing to melt. Get that Microsoft to melt. I'm going to let this do its thing for a bit. Come on down. My only other issue here is this has developed. Microsoft has pushed down though, so that's the thing. There's some size here at 83. Yeah. Right at 83, there's some size on the ask. Might look to see if somebody's going to try and front run that and run it down. It's 50-50 tilt. Yeah. Day trading coffee, yummy. Thank you. There's some food in here. I'm going to take this try. If whatever happens with it, happens with it. I want to see the NQ catch up to the ES. I don't think it wants to be at these highs yet. See Microsoft continuing to break down. So we're at these highs. If Microsoft can continue to do that and Apple can continue to rotate off that 188.18 level, if NVIDIA starts to falter, which it looks like it kind of is, could we get ourselves the flush we're looking for here? I said that there was some size at 83. There was, I don't know if it's a single order or if it's just a bunch of orders sitting there at 83. It could give you a little whippy action if it does get filled and then run us down. So I'm in here to see if I can get this flush to happen kind of quick on a breakdown here. Fading the extreme, like I said, that's my thing. I'm looking to fade extreme. I'm trying to get one of these guys to rotate with us. Microsoft making that crack though didn't drag us down, which is super interesting. You know, cracked that little wedge pattern, which to me indicates that it kind of wants to continue down. But NVIDIA is the monster that it is, has been holding up this entire market whenever it does catch a bid on a day. So let's just see what happens here. It does have all the way up to those post-market levels of 709.66. And cracks these highs right here, then this is sort of invalidated. Apple catching a bid. If it cracks 188.18, it could run up with the market doing what it's doing here. Push to those highs. Apple is now trying to hold that. Microsoft not playing along. Nvidia, that's our leader. This is just patience, letting something play out. Failed breakout. Yeah. I can limit my risk here if I do take this below 80. This chart's looking like it just wants to follow the Nvidia chart. Quiet, focus, really just trying to get this next one off here if this is going to play out for us. I have it below 80s because I feel like that 80 level likes to get tagged, and you do have some liquidity there that potentially it could dip into the trend breakout and rotate. So I want to see this thing kind of realistically should want to negate this big move here to get my entry in, but I'm sort of front running it, trying to limit my risk on it. Because I can get Nvidia to play along with our selling here, which it's trying to. Microsoft is still pushing down. Apple is rejecting that level. Nvidia is rejecting now the high. So if we can get it back in here, I want to take this chance. Look at this delta. Trying to push heavier. Price not quite wanting to play along, but I think if we can get this thing to crack down below here, it should get it should push down to that 73. And then we got to try and make a decision at 73 what we want to do. If it does crack that. If it doesn't crack that, we just continue to rotate here, which is seemingly likely at this point, then we don't get triggered in. You can see that that's the reason why I set my sell order here, because I wanted to keep it below there. I didn't want it to just trigger me and run up to the highs again, which it looks like it's trying to grab some liquidity here and run it down, to run it up, I mean. Get triggered and keep me in. If we can get down to VWAP, that'd be a beautiful move. S&Ps are getting so heavy. All right, so we're triggered in short here. Let's see if we can get this thing to rotate through. 73s is going to be that important level right there. Even 71, right? That point right there is going to be very important for us to try and get a flush of the level. NVIDIA did try to push down a little bit. Microsoft also is just rotating straight through. So as long as NVIDIA doesn't catch another bounce, then we should get that rotation back down through. All right. I'm holding this a bit to see where we can get to. That was a nice little flush. So now we're going to be at break even. Okay, right to the bottom of that liquidity zone there. If we can flush that liquidity zone, that target is going to be VWAP from here. As we approach VWAP, we're going to just start to trail kind of tight. Got a nice little short there. You could understand why I took that. You know, I got NVIDIA to start playing along. I had Microsoft playing along already. S&Ps were getting heavy. We're break even +1, so I don't, or plus, you know, plus fees. So everything is gravy, baby, from here on out. So if it does do what we want it to do, then it'll continue down and rotate all the way through. We'll be able to maximize profits on this. I only took one contract on it, just kind of really based on these all-time high levels and NVIDIA just doing whatever it wants to do. You can see Microsoft really pushing down. If we get down to that 412 and the price kind of still holds up in the NQ, then we may need to look to mitigate, because that could be a bounce point. Because NVIDIA is much further away than Microsoft is from that zone. If this is just going to be a liquidity grab and a run up to the highs, it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. But I could understand it happening, because that's just how the markets have been acting. So we're fading extremes, we're fading all-time highs. We're trying to get this to rotate down, at least trying to get towards VWAP. If we can get towards VWAP, start to secure more and more profit faster and faster. S&Ps is so far below its opening range that something tells me that we want to kind of rotate down even into that area there. That 810 is a good target. That was a bounce point before. If we can break down from here, like VWAP is the bottom end of this little upward rising, you know, support level too. But you know, if I could get down to here, I would be very happy camper. It's totally plausible as well. Like, it's not like it's, if we can get down to here, it's not implausible. We're sitting up 50 ticks just about. We've mitigated our loss completely, so we have no risk on this trade except for whatever we have and sitting in profit. So we're sitting here waiting for this bottom end to fall out a little bit. I want NVIDIA to continue to play along. If NVIDIA keeps going, then we will keep going. If NVIDIA keeps going, we keep going. That's all I could ask for, right? Releasing pips. We'll go to a story here. We're going to record it live while we're live. We're live here on tradecaster.com. Caught that flush, that breakdown over there. Got NVIDIA playing along. Sitting about, well, let's see how many ticks in profit we are. Let's see. We are about 64 ticks floating in profit. Stops at break even plus some. So this is a free trade. Let's see how far we can go down. I'm just going to let it go.
every day we're on here live 8:30. Today we were a little later than 8:30. It worked out because I wasn't going to take anything right there. And anyway, if we come back above here, I don't want to be playing anymore. I want to see this thing continue to just be heavy, flush that down a bit. Realistically, probably should have got on 2 contracts. That's really the only thing I would have liked to have done better. But overall, still happy with what our execution was there. We need NVIDIA to crack the low. NVIDIA can crack down below 703. Microsoft got to that bounce point, right? So that could initiate our bounce play here. This grab a liquidity down below, getting some shorts involved and possibly looking to rotate it. But if Microsoft continues to push into that zone, because NVIDIA still has room down, right? If NVIDIA can crack and get down into here, that'll help, consistently push this thing down. So if you like this trade, if you like what we're doing, hit the like button on YouTube, go over to Tradecaster, do whatever, the like, star, whatever it is. Subscribe to the channel. Trying to get a giveaway going, trying to get to 25 viewers. When we get to 25 viewers on Tradecaster, we're going to give away a free month. We're getting a little bit of a bounce in NVIDIA, but we're getting a little divergence here in that price. You're flattened out on Delta. You're trying to make new lows. If we can get Delta to continue to push, you should get this now to flush closer to VWAP. 860 is the value area high. So we want to re-accept into value area high if we're going to try and rotate down to value area low. We have an ultimate target down here at 810, just front running it at that zone a little bit. Do I believe that we can get that full rotation? I do believe it's possible, but with everything, with all these, equities, trying to catch bounces at all these places, Apple now it wants to play along to the high side. Microsoft caught right to that buy zone and bounced up a little bit. So we probably will. If we don't get one of these names to play out, we'll get stopped out right here just above this zone, which is that previous all-time high level. We'll take $100 and run. We want to let this thing try and get down through here, but if it's going to hold and everything's going to get resilient, once again, like NVIDIA is bouncing, we can only do what we can do. We can only manage the position as best we can. Once I saw Microsoft here on this, right at the top of this zone, I could have came down and maybe grabbed, $100 more on that. But, I had my stop above there for a reason. I felt like if we're going to get any sort of bounce in NVIDIA or Microsoft, we're going to kind of rotate up to highs. So secured another 100 and something bucks. So we're up 200 on the day. Still not a bad day. We're up 205. 205. So we're still green. We're still having a good day. We went red early. Took a couple, like a break even, one red trade there, and then we took a nice green. We took one off here and then rotated fully down. So we mitigated our losses there and got ourselves back to positive on that trade. And then we've taken this move right here was our next real move. That's our we've only taken that. That was our last trade prior to that was 9:30. So right here it's 10:30ish. So we've waited about an hour to get ourselves back into here. But with that kind of move right there, if we do continue to rotate down, so be it. You had to secure some of those profits especially with only having one contract on, right? So if I had the 2 on, could have got the 1 off. Maybe down here below at the flush, the bottom end there. That's 1 contract off for 290. Then you get, I would have liked to have had that other contract at break even. So then no matter what, you let this thing breathe out a little bit. But I believe with these equities at these points, they're bouncing. You're going to catch a rally here. The markets have just been irrationally strong. So all these short fade moves that I always take that I'm looking to do, I got to be a little quicker on the fade until they start to show some more weakness. NVIDIA now, like I said, caught the bid right at the bottom of this bear bull flag. And then Apple was the real reason that I ended up thinking that this was going to, possibly start to turn, because it did break above that 188.18. We got that good breakdown here. I wanted to wait till we got a strong move through the downsides, because we broke above And then I said if we kind of falter here, we had a delta divergence. We should get an accelerating move. Is this going to be a failed breakout? Which it did. We accelerated straight down, right to the bottom of this, pure support. Could have been looking to just be quick and be off with one contract right there, but you get a strong move like this, and then you get another rotation down trying to push through the zone here. You would be convinced that this is going to at least try to rotate down to here, especially with the S&Ps. They were pushing down hard. I mean, they were just nonstop pushing. So, maybe we're going to try and catch up. Didn't happen. Got stopped out for a profit. I'll take getting stopped out for some of the move because you're not going to catch full giant moves every single time, right? Good morning, Private Trader. What's up, bro? How we doing? We're sitting up about $200 in profit today. Looking to maybe find one more good trade by 11. The market's been very weird today. Not weird, but we're at all-time high levels. We only have the information we had from yesterday and today and the overnight session. So we have a order down there. Got to get rid of that. Chopped around for most of the day. I tried to short here, break even. Another one took a loss. Took a second loss on trying to play that rotation through 36. So we were down basically one full. Then we maximized this profit here to go up 100. And then we tried to play this fade of the high here. We got that really good move, first move down, started to break down the lows. We brought our stop just above this liquidity zone because we said, hey, this is where we'll be wrong. This is where if price does rotate through here, it's going to continue on to the upside. We were going to get stopped out anyway, so might as well secure $100 on it, which is what happened. We got stopped out there. It is still rotating. Things that kind of gave us that confidence that it was going to kind of continue up. Even though Apple's been beaten down all day, it's starting to rotate, starting to push above that key level there at 188.18. Microsoft hit right off on this liquidity zone that we've had. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, right? I said if we get down here and price is still up a little higher, you start to see a bid come in, then this is probably going to rotate. And then NVIDIA also is right at the base of this little pattern here and started to push on to the upside. So that's what took us out right there. Overall, it was as managed as well as possible. Hindsight being 2020, I kind of really liked this setup with this wick off top, fading. Delta also acting pretty negatively. It could have put 2 on here. Would have really only had about $400 worth of risk on it. This right here is Quant Tower. I trade on Quant Tower. I use Trading View to just do a lot of charting, so I could pull up equities and futures. But Quant Tower is all futures. I don't have any equities on here, so I do all my executions on Quant Tower. I've found it to be the most, I've used NinjaTrader, I've used Quant Tower, I've used Trading View, I've used Trade-of-8. I like that Trade-of-8's web-based, so I could trade elsewhere, but realistically, I kind of like that this is not. That also keeps me out from when I'm bored at work or if I'm out in the streets and I'm like, I need to go take a trade. It keeps me from executing because I know I really want to make high quality executions with my trades. I don't want to trade just to do it because I love this. I know I will do it. I've done it in the past. I've got myself into trades, out of trades, based on nonsense while I'm out on the streets just bored. So I like Quant Tower because it's just a web-based professional type program, and it's one of the ones that they offer now across a few different platforms. I mean, a few different funding companies will offer it. I use it for my personal brokerage as well with AMP Futures. They offer it as a free platform. So overall, it's really good value for what it is, and it has a lot of good information. One of the big things I really like actually too here in Quant is the surface. I have to find it. DOM surface. I like this. It's almost like a book map, but it's built into the program. And when you have your level 2s, I just finally purchased them through Top Step. I had them in my personal brokerage, but you could see It's basically like Bookmap. You can see volume orders, large volume orders in here. This is a big sell, a big buy. You can start to see a heat map where maybe some sitting orders are resting here at, at that 85 level. You could change how many levels. So this is 10. I want to, let's call it 100. And now that we're at 100 levels, you can see it's much wider. It may slow the data down a bit, but you can get a really good feel on what's going on here. You could even trade off of it if you wanted to. I'm not doing that, but this is something that's really cool within Quant Tower that you don't have to pay extra for. I mean, you do need level 2 data because otherwise you're just going to get what's printing right now. You got a heat map here. You got 885. I think there's a pretty decent size order there, and now you just burnt right through it. So, were there bids, looking to get filled there? Potentially. A lot of volume being executed at this area of 85. So I like this thing, the heat map. It's pretty cool. We're gonna go to our performance center. Count performance. You can see today we started out with a slight green. I called it a break even, up $25 on it. We drew down about 300 on a couple different trades. One that could have realistically been a break even, but we got stopped out on one of the contracts. The second contract ended up being a negative. Then we've taken 2 really good executions to get ourselves up to that $200 mark in green. We're making good executions. We're waiting for our setups. We're waiting for the point of getting ourselves a high quality area where we can make that move happen and happen fast. So right here, we anticipated this. We got a good rotation on it. We just didn't get the follow through. Seems like we're sitting in this channel that I just drew up. I kind of saw it coming, so I decided to let's draw this up a bit. NASDAQ tilts 50-50. Right where we're sitting right now is that previous all-time high that we made yesterday. So it is a pretty important level. Anybody interested in if you sign up for a Top Step account, if you want to get into a combine or something, the Quant Tower platform, you have to select it when you first sign up. Once you're in Top Step, you can't switch platforms. With Take Profit Trader, you can, I believe, switch platforms, but you gotta let them know. I'll give you the links here. Take Profit Trader. I have tried it. I haven't really taken the combine too seriously yet, so just be mindful of that. You could use Quant Tower on both. Here's the Take Profit Trader link. You get 40% off if you use that and code Policing Pips on checkout. Top Step, I'm pretty sure we do have a little bit of a discount, but I don't know what it is to be exact. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I like Top Step much better so far. It'll give you all the information. I'll copy this link here, copy link address. We'll throw that in here. If you go over to Take Profit Trader, it's a little different. It has a trailing intraday drawdown, which I don't like, but then you can, once you're funded, you could withdraw right away as you make profits. Day one, you can start taking your money out, which is the one benefit on that I like. And then once you pay your first fee, let's say you get in a 50K account, you get that 40% off. I think that leaves you at around like $100 or whatever it is for 50K. You never pay an activation fee for when you do get funded. So all of the costs in all of these combines pretty much all wash out to be about exactly the same if you just take into account activation fees and whatnot. So like I said, Take Profit Trader. This one will get you 40% off using Policing Pips. I think that'll do that one. Is that the right? Yeah, that's the right one. That'll get you 40% off. The Top Step one will give you some more information about their combines. You click get into a combine. I think you could get into a 50K for like $49. It'll get you all the education over there that they have. They do provide you a lot of good information. I do like Top Step. This is what I'm trading for right now. So, I've been funded on and off with them for a few years. Right now we're in the off-funded phase because we decided to go on tilt in January, and we were having a really great month. We were managing emotions well. We were executing really good trades, and then we decided that we were going to do some FOMO nonsense. I think some of it had to do with trying to be a little too perfect and not executing on good trades, and then trying to catch up and make up for it. So those 2 bad days, really, you don't want to do that. But I like to show the realities of trading. It is what it is. That's what we do here. We show what it's like, right? This morning I got on with my son. He was in here and running around. I had to go in and out. It's a real life room here. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. It just is what it is. I don't have, if I have my kid running in here, I gotta have him running in here. I gotta go get him out, take him to the bathroom, do what we need to do to take care of our family. That's why we trade, right? So that's the realities of this room. So if you go back in the stream and you see a little kid running around, or you see me disappear for a minute, that's what it was. I was taking care of my son. We also were able to make some really good executions and have the focus when we needed it to, even with the distractions. So it was nice to get in here, continue to execute good trades while also taking care of him, and show you that it is possible to do that. You can have a job, you can have a family, you could have other things going on and still make good executions if you can get yourself to focus on what you're looking for when the time is right? So we're kind of just basing around in this pattern here. I don't see any real great opportunities. Maybe if we do break down, we'll get that actual continuation with the S&Ps rotating. But NVIDIA just looks like it wicked a kind of a liquidity grab there, and it might want to push up. Microsoft looking to get back down to that zone there, so maybe we do get that push down. If Apple's failing that 18 level, then we could look to see maybe it'll rotate down as well. So that confluence could let us get this short to play out actually at this point, because we are now holding we're now holding below yesterday's all-time high that we created. We got above it 1, 2, 3 times, lower high, liquidity grab, kind of wick off candle, another third lower high, and then we're sitting on this uptrend here. But if you kind of crack the bottom of this liquidity zone here and you get Microsoft and NVIDIA to play along like we did before, then you can get this thing to rotate possibly down through here, and first target VWAP, see where the rest of the trade takes you. But also be mindful that we could just continue this chop all day. My stream ends at 11. I'm trying to get as many people on here as possible. Looks like we might have to do the giveaway tomorrow. If you can come in here, get a couple more people in here, come tomorrow afternoon or 11, by 11, if we can get 25 people in here, we will give away a free month of TradeCaster. It should be good. Anybody on YouTube, come on over, use the link in the chat or in the bottom of the description of the video. You can come over here, do a 7-day free trial, come into the room. The day we get 25 viewers in here, the day we give away a free month of TradeCaster. You get full access to every trader, paid traders, all the education, and you can bounce from room to room, no big deal. Like I said, on days like today, it's very choppy, it's very indecisive. Like, we did get a really good move here that we could have expected a good follow through. We took the execution, and we just didn't get that final push down that was actually going to get us out and profit pretty decent on the day. But we did take a little bit off. We got some money out of it. We're up 205. Just looking to see if we can get that, maybe one more execution here before 11. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that. Price is just really slowed down. Doesn't seem like there's a ton of interaction going on, even at these levels. So I think there's a lot of indecision. There's not a lot of people wanting to buy at these highs, but also there's a lot of people that aren't trying to pick tops, just because of late they've just been getting run over. Especially if we start looking at this extreme greed. Let's see if it's changed in the last 30 minutes. Still sitting in extreme greed, right? Once you see this thing start to get into here, you're going to start to look to see bigger players start to get shorted. When your friends, family, neighbors starting to say, oh man, markets are really going well, right? We're at all-time highs. We probably should be buying things. when you start hearing people say, "Oh, let's go buy Nvidia, let's go buy this, let's go buy that," I don't trust that to stay at those highs very long, right? You want to be fearful when people are greedy, and you want to be greedy when people are fearful. If you can use that in your long-term bias, that's what this pretty much is more of a long-term bias, and then also integrate that with your short-term bias and your day trading strategy, then you can make some better choices at these levels, right? That's why my strategy is fading extremes, because when people are thinking this is going to be another breakout and the breakout fails, I usually try to short that failed breakout, because I know at least I'm not going to take very much heat on it, and if my trade fails, I'm usually able to get to break even and mitigate my losses on it. But then the times that where it's a real true failure and I get that rollover, like last week we caught that move from overnight high to overnight low, caught a $2,500 move, just with I had 2 contracts on, I shed one pretty quick, and then basically it was $2,500 and just $2,000 I guess in one contract, right? So that's a really nice move that you can catch on some of these big breakdowns. There are plenty of opportunities on breakouts as well, but I just don't fancy myself a breakout trader. We have based here, could bounce. If you get another break above here, another rotation higher, up into that 900, 910 level. If you fail here, I keep opening a folder. Annoying. Nvidia keeps getting to this level right here and bouncing. It's bounce. See if it bounces again from here, or if it continues lower. Microsoft also approaching that liquidity zone that we have, that we drew up yesterday. We used for a short, and now it's been sitting on top. Apple is now holding 188.18. So the fact that we haven't really broke through the previous day's high and held below there, to me, kind of says we might be in for one more rotation, at least to the high side. Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. If you're new to futures, if you're new to the indexes, and you don't quite understand why I look at pretty much those 3 names, the Nasdaq is the 100 heaviest weighted, highest rated stocks, more tech heavy. But of that, 55%, I believe, of the entire index is weighted by 7 stocks. The 7 are going to be Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, Amazon, I think, and Meta. So that's why I'm mindful of all those names. These are the names that I kind of just rotate through. Meta's still strong. Amazon was gonna, run into that resistance there at the highs. Kind of just been pacing out. Hasn't really been affecting the markets too much. Really, it's been Microsoft, Nvidia, and Apple. These are the 3 names that I look to see what they're doing to catch an idea. So the fact that we didn't break down, the fact that we, you don't get that hard, heavy selling pressure once you reaccept below that all-time high from yesterday that we made. And then you have the names like Apple rejecting its lows and accepting back above a pretty key level, 188.18 to 20 level. And then you got Microsoft also bouncing off of that liquidity zone. And you got Nvidia at its highs, sort of bull flagging here, kind of grab some liquidity here down below, possibly looking to rotate the high. So those confluences, plus let's say Delta didn't make new lows as it tried to make new lows here, right? We got a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Rotation to the highs here could be possible. That's just not my strategy, especially in an all-time high environment. I don't really have any huge confluence on it that's going to tell me let's do it. But you could play a breakout here and, like I said, rotate up into that 900 level. That 30-minute candle, if you get a break above 890, that's that 30-minute, like the 2 bodies that we're holding there. So that 890 is also you got a low volume node there. So price gets through all this volume, hits this low volume node, wants to rotate through the next high volume node. So just be mindful of that. But it's very slow. Not something I really want to be a part of. Still trying to do that giveaway. Still trying to build up our viewer base. We are pretty much right within 5 minutes of an hourly close. And as I mention every day on my stream, I really look to avoid taking any entries within 5 minutes of an hourly close. I want to gather whatever information that 30-minute, that hourly is going to provide me on its close. Is it going to close above key levels? Is it going to close below? Is it going to reject? That's what I'm watching on hourly closes. We are really just not in a position to execute anyway. Anything that's really going to play out that I want to play is a failed breakout. So, let's say come 11 o'clock, this price tries to push up, gets up to that 890, fails that and reaccepts into this. I want to rotate that down. That's what I tried here, right? We tried it here. We got a false breakout of the high. There was a wedge pattern here that I wanted to wait for it to get into, which is good because by waiting, I got in on the actual flush, right? I didn't get in early and get chopped around a bit. I waited. Got in here, got flushed, and then tried to secure. We just didn't get the follow through. I'm looking for something similar if I would take a trade here. I want this thing to whip up here, get into maybe that 885 to 890 zone, fail that, rotate down, kind of sit on here, and then fail. If this is going to be the breakout candle, I want to fail that 878, 75, and then try and get that to rotate down. So these are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about at these levels. But like I said, we're not playing a breakout here for myself. But I also mentioned to you that all the confluences say that this higher low, fail to break down below previous all-time highs, crack above this wedge, could lead us up to 900, right? So will it continue on? That's pretty likely, but any sort of failed breakout could lead to actual selling coming in. And you can see that delta has just flattened out. So there's really not anybody new playing around right now. Something that's kind of indicative here too is Nvidia's at the bottom here, and we're pushing the highs of this little wedge. Probably means that Microsoft is pushing, which it is, and Apple also pushing above that 188.18. So as soon as you get Nvidia to act with this, then you get the pop. I want to see what happens with Nvidia here. I want that 11 o'clock close, see what happens at 11 o'clock. If you get this thing to be a failed breakout, like I said, the top end is that 80 to 90, 88 to 90 level. That could be that low volume node right there. So we're pretty much right at it. So if you're going to break above it, you might break with a little bit of a push here. If not, rotate, look to see this thing kind of chop around here and then fail to hold this level here where a lot of people are looking like, oh, I played my breakout here, I'm going to get my stop below here, get some stops to go off, really ignite a selling order to come in. And that's what I would look for to fade that. But currently S&Ps are pushing up back into the middle of their range, of that opening range. So strength is kind of returning broadly across the entire market. Microsoft and Apple both pushing up, and Nvidia pushing that low of that little bear bull flag there. If it does any sort of bounce here, then watch the highs. But if Nvidia breaks down, starts to lead us to the downside, then maybe some of these other names will also continue carrying on. But that's really just for that. I don't have any. It's just chop fest right now. So being up 200 on the day, very happy. We went red to green, so we're not looking to give very much of that back. If we are going to risk anything, it's going to be on a really high probability fail breakout rotation to the downside. Try and get involved in something where we take pretty much no heat and then go from there. I really appreciate everybody that's coming on. We're starting to grow this account, grow this community a bit. We're going to do giveaways. As soon as I get the stream up to 25 viewers by 11 o'clock, maybe tomorrow we can do it. We're halfway there today. We got almost, I think at one point we hit 10. So halfway there. If everybody here brings one other person for tomorrow, then we get up to 25. I give away a free month of Tradecaster to really get everybody the opportunity to maximize this, maximize the ability to leverage this Tradecaster platform. So we'll do a little wheel or something. We'll spin the wheel, get everybody who actually wants to be involved in the giveaway. You'll have like 3 rules to follow. You'll have to go follow me on Instagram, Policing Pips. You'll have to like a post that I put over there, and like my coffee company, Day Trading Coffee Company, on Instagram, Day Trading Coffee Co. on Instagram. So all the rules will be in here once we get close to 25 people. I'll make that post on Instagram. We'll figure everything out, and then we'll just spin a wheel and give away that 1 free month of TradeCaster. As we grow this stream, I'm going to be doing giveaways probably weekly. I want to give away months of TradeCaster. We're going to give away some subscription stuff. We'll give away some coffee stuff. We'll give away money. You know, everything we can do to help the community grow as we build my viewer base here. The more people that come in, the more people that I can give stuff away to. So here's that failure. It's after 11. We failed that breakout. We got right to the point where I wanted to get to. I'm going to take 1 short here. Even though normally I don't trade after 11, we're going to take it. And we're going to see what happens here. A failed breakout. Rotate through the bottom end of this. Let's see. We're going to take 1 contract. And we're going to try and get it off kind of quick. Let's see if we can just maximize this. If we give it back, we give it back, right? I'm trying to just show what my strategy is here with the failed breakouts. And with NVIDIA not playing along. I don't want that on here. On the breakout. And then it's rolling over. NVIDIA's been our leader, right? So maybe NVIDIA can drag down Microsoft, and maybe NVIDIA can drag down Apple a bit. If not, we're going to continue to push up. But I think that was a failed breakout. Got right to that 90 level, and now it's pushing back below that candle. I said stops should probably try and go off. That's why I wanted to be involved with this. I'm going to try and mitigate my risk pretty quickly here. If we get a rally from here, then that's on me. Come on, get this push down from here. Let's rotate through here. I'm gonna leave that stop there, but I'm gonna look to flatten if I start to see a really good pop. I'm gonna watch NVIDIA and Microsoft, Apple. NVIDIA's still trying to push down. Microsoft did get a bounce, but NVIDIA's been our leader, and that's the real reason I saw that breakdown there. So I really want this thing to continue through to push down and give us a decision here at the bottom end of this wedge. I'm gonna still leave that there. If I start to see any bid in NVIDIA, then I might need to get out. It was worth the risk here to try and take this to the downside. If we can get it to break, then we will actually capitalize pretty good on this, I believe. The risk to reward here was worth it for me. If we do start to rally now, it is what it is. You know, that's just me taking a shot at talking out my plan, executing on what was talked about, right? NVIDIA is catching a little bit of a bid, and Apple is still bouncing a bit. So we are likely to get stopped out on this because Microsoft wants to continue to bounce off that liquidity zone. But if we don't, we can get this NVIDIA to pop, to drag down a little bit more. Let's see. Get NVIDIA to roll. I'm not giving back any more than what I see here. So if we get back above that wick, then I'm out. I'm going to be pretty tight on this now. If we do get a flush, because my stream ends at usually 11 o'clock, I want to get in and out of this kind of quickly. But if we get a nice flush here, I want to just be a part of it. Let's see. The delta is now starting to push down. That's really nice. I'm going to stay above this candle here. We are sitting a big 7 ticks in profit at the moment. If we can crack 72, we're accepting into here. NVIDIA's starting to roll. There we go. Come on now. Give me that push down. I'm going to mitigate my risk pretty quickly here. I went red to green on it. I'm going to go to break even just because I want this thing to break here now. And then, like I said, my stream ends at 11. I need to get off. So if I can just trail this out get some profits on it and be out, then I'm happy with that. If I get stopped at break even, still cool, because it is what it is. I wanted this trade to happen a little faster. There we go. So now we're in profit. We're gonna see how low we can get this thing to go. I talked about it being a failed breakout, same deal as before. We're gonna be a little quick with this trail because, like I said, we want to take our money and run, but also at the same time, I want to let this thing try and continue to fail. I do get off the stream usually at 11 o'clock. Today might be 11:15, but nope, we're out. So we're out there just because I see that this potentially could be a liquidity grab and my stream is done. We are up 280 on the day. I'm happy with that. I'll walk away. This is probably going to continue to roll over, but for me, I just didn't want to be a part of anything where I went and took some heat on it like that, and then it's probably going to continue to roll over. I just needed to get off the stream, and if I am like feeling the pressure of getting off the stream, then I usually have to kind of get in and get out quick. We did catch that bounce before, but this, like I said, with NVIDIA rolling, this now should continue to roll over. We were a little, like probably 1 second quick on that trail, but like I said, we have to get in, get out, and get to work. I hope this thing plays out for everybody else whoever listened to what I was saying about why it would fail, what would drive this to the downside. This is a liquidity zone, so there is a good chance that it does just continue to catch bids from here based on the choppy day. But if you do get a flush of the low, I don't want to say that you will get it to the VWAP, but you could see the volume nodes here. It's all good. And we're going to get a re-up on our coffee. But I'm going to stay on for 2 more minutes, see if this plays below here, and then be done. We're up another winning day for the week, 280. We talked about staying out of bad positions, being patient, waiting for setups that we like, which was this one right here that we got. It was money. I was pretty sure that if it broke there the first time it was going to flush. We waited for that second time, then it flushed here. You're just catching bids in that zone, which to me is very interesting. Like NVIDIA rotating down, Microsoft also starting to turn over, and Apple trying to sit on top of that 118. But if you get a bounce in any of these names, all-time highs once again. So this is a chop fest. You can still see that downside pressure still playing. So if you have good trail rules and you don't have to rush off of a streaming event or something like that, then this was a good trade to kind of hold on to, because this could be now your actual rotation through the bottom, right? You got to watch the bottom here. If it flushes that VWAP, and like I said, our target for this trade here was 810, and I was front running it to like 812, 814. That was where my take profit would have been, if we trailed that out. But you could see it failed and rotated back up. I took my profits in the same spot twice, take about $80 on that, gave back pretty good. 285, we would have been up there. No blood, no foul. I'm still just looking to grow this account steadily. We're at 102,709 in the 100K. In the 50K, we're at 52,335. So everything is progressing one day closer to getting all the accounts back funded, back to earning real money, back to going to take withdrawals. We are going to be doing giveaways tomorrow. It seems like today we were trying to get close. We got up there. We got a good amount of viewers. Got up to 9, 10, 11, I think, at some point, viewers. And if we can get to 25, we're going to do that giveaway, a free month of TradeCaster. I know Deck has a huge giveaway going on tonight, so I don't expect to be the ultimate giveaway person at the moment. So just see what he's going to give away. Be paying attention. Come around. Come into the stream tomorrow. If we can get this thing before 11 o'clock to 25 viewers, I'm going to give one person away a free month of TradeCaster.com. We'll do a fair. We'll do a little wheel spin or something like that, or pick a name out of a hat. I'll do it right here. You can see everything. And we'll go from there. We'll see who gets that free month of TradeCaster. If you are interested in getting into a combine and following along with what I'm doing and getting yourself funded, like I said, we're a little over halfway on all those accounts, probably more than halfway. One of the accounts we did take a pretty big winner on, so we may have to make more than that minimum targeted amount. But we're just trying to show you how to execute good trades. I'm not in a rush to fund these things. I can do it over and over and over again. That's not the point. The point is trying to do it in a sustainable manner and where you can learn how to trade and continue that kind of momentum after you get funded and after you build up. So overall, I think everybody in here either already does or maybe they trade QQQs or SPYs or something like that. So if you want to switch over, head on over to the links that I posted in the chat. The alerts also has the Take Profit Trader in there. As always, go over to daytradingcoffeeco.com. Use code policingpips for 15% off your order. And then I'll know that you came from here so that you can get some good coffee, fuel your trading journey. And we're in talks with a few pretty good partners too. So hopefully you'll start to hear about it from other members of the community, either in Tradecaster, across YouTube, Instagram. We're just growing the business slowly but surely. As that grows, 10% of the profits, I'm going to be giving away funded accounts. I'm going to be trying to get people who are underfunded into either funding accounts to start. We'll do combines. I'll buy a bunch of combines for people with 10% of the profit, people who can't afford it. Maybe people who are just down on their luck. They want to just get into a combine, aren't sure about trading combines, futures, or anything like that. And I can walk you through how to pass it right in here. We'll go through our strategy, talk through levels. But that's the goal with the coffee company, is to grow it. We want to make sure that we can give back some of the profits from the people who are buying the coffee. So you're not only getting good coffee, getting good fuel, you're also getting a good community where we're trying to build off of each other and help each other out and trying to give back, so we can make sure that everybody out here has got the opportunity to make money. Eventually as the company grows and that funding fund grows, I want to try and partner with brokers and look to maybe possibly dump some cash accounts out there around the holiday season, one day at a time, right? So the first goal is to try and give away some combines, either with Top Step or with Take Profit. You'll get to choose if you do win the giveaway for the funding fund, but you got to buy some coffee because otherwise we don't have any money to give away. So tell your friends, tell your family if you like anything like Death Wish coffee or Black Rifle. It's just like that delivery service. You order it, it's roasted on delivery, and like I said, 10% of profits go to funding underfunded traders. So we did well today. We mitigated our risks. You see this is, we didn't get the follow through here. There's no follow through anywhere and anything except for maybe this buy right here. If you caught the short on the open, maybe you made some money. We've chopped ourselves around and made some money on the chop. So being up 280 on the day, can't be mad at it. Didn't have any of the real opportunities that we had over the past few days to capitalize on some really extended moves while we're on the stream. So a green day is a good day. Every day is a good day that you could stay above water. You could trade tomorrow. Everything is good. Like I said, also too, aside from the choppy kind of day with the lack of opportunity amongst the levels being at all-time highs, I did have to watch my youngest. We had to show that there's reality to life. You have to trade around life and do some stuff here. So that's what the realities of this lobby is as well. I'm not going to just be always perfectly here, sitting here by myself with, full attention to trading. Sometimes you got to work on the rest of life while you're doing this. So I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I disappear for a second, I'm going to let you know, hey, I got to go take the kid out, but whatever. But hopefully that shows you that you can do it too. If you have a family, if you have a job, if you have kids, if you have stuff that you need to do, focus in when you need to focus, and then also take care of your family as you need to take care of your family. And that's what this trading thing is all about. Sometimes you need to keep them out of the room. Sometimes you need to help them out. Sometimes, life doesn't get in the way. Life is good. Life's what you want to do. You want to live this. So don't be afraid to let your family be a part of your trading journey, because without their support, you're going to be very, very lonely. I think that's a good note to finish on. I really appreciate everybody coming in here today. We're trying to get this view to 25. I know that it was a tall task to get 25 people in here on a Thursday. Even a Friday might be a little tough tomorrow to get 25 people on. Some people take the day off. I'll be here. I'll be here at 8:30. I'll be on sharp. We're gonna be ready to go. If you get us in here, get us to 25, we're gonna give away that free month of TradeCaster to one lucky member. So until tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., I will be here ready to go. It is the wife's birthday, so we may get off the stream just a little early. So if we can get those 25 viewers on, then we will get in and get out. But we should be on here pretty much the whole stream. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8:30. Another green day, another good opportunity to keep your money in your pocket in a choppy session. So until tomorrow, 8:30. Peace out. I'll see you later, Profit Trader. I'll see you tomorrow. Bring somebody tomorrow. We'll get that to 25, and we'll give away one of those months of TradeCaster.